Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin officially announced 2311 Racing. GoFas Racing is scaling back their operation next year, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. surprises one of his longtime drivers with an exciting Xfinity Series deal for next season. We've got a lot to discuss on a Friday. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric, and welcome to Out of the Groove. Super excited for it to be Friday. I hope you all have had a fantastic week, but I'm excited that it's Friday because I get to go to a race this weekend. Yes, I will be at Texas Motor Speedway for the Truck and Cup Series doubleheader on Sunday, so if you see me at the track, feel free to say hi. I'll be filming a video and everything while I'm there as per usual because it sounds like I might get to do some pretty cool things that I've never gotten to do at Texas Motor Speedway, so hope you guys are looking forward to that because I know I certainly am going to be a fantastic weekend. But before I let my excitement for Texas this weekend get too out of hand, we have to discuss some news from yesterday. It was a busy Thursday. I want to start with something we talked about actually 2 days ago, but yes, the new Denny Hamlin Michael Jordan team has revealed its name and its logo. It was leaked a few days ago that it was going to be 2311 Racing with, the 11 in Roman numerals, but yesterday they released a short video to Twitter showing, highlights of Michael Jordan, Denny Hamlin, Bubba Wallace, and, sports commentators from around the country talking about this exciting new deal. And then at the end of the clip, as you can see here, they show off the new 2311 Racing logo for just a moment. I like it. Simple, but it's got the red, which is, the Chicago Bulls red. I'm not sure if it's actually the Chicago Bulls red, but it's close enough. That's what the vibe I'm getting. I still think it's a cool team name. I mean, I hope Denny Hamlin stays with Joe Gibbs his whole career. He probably will at this point. I'm sure he's a Gibbs lifer, probably always going to be in the 11 car, so that's going to be his number, so it makes sense, 23 and 11. It'd be nice if they could have thrown a 45 in there somehow, but I'm sure Jordan wants to forget about that. Anyway, no, but it's a cool looking logo. I like it. Again, very excited for this team. We still don't know any other details, like who crew chief is going to be for Bubba Wallace. We still don't know for sure what manufacturer it's going to be, though it has to be Toyota. I think maybe they haven't announced that because it's a given, but it does appear as though the team will be running the number 23 car next season for Bubba Wallace, so exciting stuff. 2311 Racing, a new era starts now. Thrilled to have Michael Jordan as a majority owner in NASCAR. Goodness me, it's still just crazy to think about that. I don't think it's really going to hit me until we see the car on track next year, hopefully contending for wins and top 10s and stuff, but even now it's just like, wow, Michael Jordan. Oh, goodness. 2020 has sucked, but I'm not going to pretend this isn't at least one good thing that came out of 2020. Michael Jordan in NASCAR. I mean, that's awesome. Anyway, while that is exciting news, we do have some, I guess, bad news to talk about. There's some good news also towards the end. There's a couple good positive stories towards the end here, but I do want to get the bad news out of the way first. GoFas Racing announced yesterday afternoon that they will be scaling back their operations next year. They will not race full-time in the NASCAR Cup Series per team owner Archie St. Hilaire. The team is expected to run roughly 5 or 6 races next year at tracks that make fiscal sense for the team. Here's the full statement from GoFast's team owner. It's been a lot of fun over the years, but with the evolution of life, your priorities change. With my son and GM of GoFast, Mason, moving on to start his own business in a different industry, and myself getting ready to spend time with my daughter having my first grandchild, I feel it's time to reevaluate the next chapter of my life. It definitely has been great working with Ford and all of our great marketing partners over the last 10 years, and we look forward to continuing with them on a smaller scale going forward. I can't say enough about how NASCAR has built and maintained their business model during the current pandemic and how exciting the schedule looks for 2021. We will keep 4 or 5 cars and anticipate running 5 to 6 races in 2021 at tracks we enjoy and make financial sense. Joe Falk of Circle Sport will continue to own half of the charter we currently run, and we will be transferring our ownership in our half of the charter at the end of the season to Joe's new partner, who will be announced in the coming days. We will continue our partnership with the Wood Brothers Racing Team on our other charter moving forward into the future. We look forward to the 2021 season. Driver update will come forward after the remaining full-time teams announce their 2021 driver lineups. So yes, there was no driver announcement. We know Corey LaJoie announced several months ago that he and the team had mutually agreed to part ways. LaJoie still yet to announce his plans for 2021. But you heard it there at the end. There's a lot of talk about charters, and this took me a little while yesterday to try and piece together who owns what charters. The NASCAR charter system, it's done some good things, but it certainly is a pain in a lot of ways. This is one of those deals where I didn't even realize GoFast was leasing a charter, basically renting a charter out to the Wood Brothers. Apparently, I guess the 21 car is actually using GoFast GoFas Racing's charter to get a guaranteed entry spot into every race every season, but GoFas this year, and I guess the last couple of years, has been partial owners of the charter for the 32 car with Joe Falk. So now GoFas is selling their half of that charter to new owners, which we'll talk about in just a moment because those have been announced, but they're still going to be leasing their actual charter to Wood Brothers. I guess that's how I'm piecing this together. I don't know. Charters, I mean, goodness gracious. Either way, firstly, how this impacts GoFas Racing, it's a shame to see a team that I feel like we thought after this year was maybe on the up and up, was really looking forward well into the future for, the possibility of being competitive. This year in 2020, they formed a very loose alliance with Stewart-Haas Racing. And when I say loose alliance, basically all Stewart-Haas Racing was giving them this year was hand-me-down chassis from like 3, 4, 5 years ago. So, a slight improvement maybe over what GoFas was running the last several years, but not significant. As you can see, they're still, I think, 29th, 30th in points. A lot of that has to do with like fuel pump issues that Corey LaJoie has vented about many times on his podcast, Sunday Money. Anyway, but with all that being said, it definitely seemed like GoFas Racing, by, at least somewhat involving themselves with SHR this year, was looking to the future. And when it was announced they mutually parted ways with Corey LaJoie, I feel like the impression was that they maybe had another driver they were hoping to bring in. So that clearly isn't happening, at least not on a full-time basis. So it's a shame to see GoFas Racing stepping down, stepping away. I mean, they are going to race a few races next year, but it sounds like that's sort of bridging the gap between them being a full-time team and them ultimately going away probably in the next few years, but we'll see. Now, let's talk about the new team, though, that is getting that half of the charter that GoFas is selling and is working with Joe Falk, the guy, Circle Sports, who also owns that other half, so together they own now a complete charter. Earlier today, Matt Tifft released a statement announcing that both he and BJ McLeod have bought that second half of the charter and will be running a full-time Cup car next year. Here's the statement from Matt Tifft, who you will recall was a NASCAR Cup Series Rookie of the Year contender just a year ago before health issues ultimately took him out of the car. Here's his statement. We're thrilled to announce that we have obtained Archie St. Hilaire's ownership interest of Circle Sport Racing's charter. BJ McLeod and Matt Tifft will operate the charter alongside Joe Falk, who brings years of experience and expertise within the industry. NASCAR's new business model that will come to fruition in 2022 with the next-gen car makes our vision possible. We are committed to being a staple in the sport for many years to come. There are more details to release and we'll announce all aspects of them in the near future. Thanks for your support and looking forward to starting this new venture in 2021. Interesting font choice on that press release, but yeah, Matt Tifft and BJ McLeod, who is still driving in NASCAR. He's made Xfinity starts. I think he's made Cup starts this year. This new charter will be used for the new Cup Series race team that BJ McLeod has helped start. Again, they didn't say who's going to drive that car next year. A lot of people have said, what about Matt Tifft coming back? It doesn't sound like that's going to happen, given, again, all the different circumstances around his health. Likely going to keep him from running that car. Maybe BJ McLeod drives it. I have no idea. They'll probably hire someone we haven't talked about yet to drive that car next season, but I guess as lousy as it is to know GoFas Racing, a team that's been around several years, is going away more or less, it is at least somewhat exciting that a new team is willing to take their place. Now, I can't say I'm super excited about this new team for next season. I don't think they're going to be competitive. A couple of years down the line, once the next gen does get here, maybe they'll be able to eventually contend for playoff spots, things like that. But at least as far as next year and probably the next couple years, this is not going to be a competitive team. I mean, GoFas wasn't a competitive team, so it's not like we're really, losing, a competitive team in this case. But I'm just saying it's not going to be like 2311 Racing, which is going to be a Toyota Racing development team, have full backing from the manufacturer, and is likely going to be a playoff contender right off the bat. It's not going to be like that. This is going to be a back of the pack team, at least its first year. So it's hard to get super excited about it, but BJ McLeod, from everything I've heard from drivers and people who've worked with him over the years, say he's one of the nicest and coolest guys in the garage area. Matt Tifft seems to be a good young guy as well. Eventually NASCAR across the board is going to have to kind of start swapping out some of these older team owners with the younger team owners. And I think we've seen a lot of that announced this year with guys like Justin Marks owning a brand new team affiliated with RCR. Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin. Jordan's in his mid-50s. Denny Hamlin's, is he 40 yet? Again, pretty young compared to some of the other owners we have in the sport. They're starting a new team. I could keep going. BJ McLeod and Matt Tifft. That's a younger combo. The owners over at Spire, who seem to have long-term plans of hopefully being competitive one day, they're younger as well. This isn't a knock against older owners, but the truth is, guys like Joe Gibbs, Roger Penske's in his 80s, y'all. Jack Roush, Richard Childress. I mean, a lot of these teams already have kind of elevated some of the younger people in their organization into competition roles, leadership roles, but at some point that's really going to take shape. shape. Because as legendary as Roger Penske is, he's not going to be able to lead his Cup Series team forever. So it is kind of interesting that we're in a bit of a transition period right now where a lot of these younger people are stepping up and starting race teams and looking to be the next great fleet of NASCAR team owners one day. I mean, we'll see how many of these teams really make it. I mean, let's be honest. I don't know how many of these teams are really going to be competitive years down the line, but it is exciting that we have a lot of new blood, for lack of a better phrase, entering the NASCAR team ownership market right now, and hopefully that continues to happen going forward with the next gen car. Hopefully we see more team owners trying to get invested, because more team owners means more competition, means, in my opinion, better racing on Sundays. So it's exciting stuff. I mean, it's a shame that Archie St. Hilaire and GoFas Racing are more or less going away, but exciting that at least we have some young, exciting owners like BJ McLeod, Matt Tifft, who hopefully a few years down the line can really make something happen with this team. It's not going to be exciting right off the bat, but we shall see. Now, how about we wrap this episode up with just some heartwarming good news? I think that's a fantastic idea. Well, yesterday on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Dale Earnhardt Jr. surprised one of his drivers with a pretty cool opportunity. Josh Berry has been working with Dale Earnhardt Jr. for many years, honestly, but mostly at the short track local scene. Berry is a proven winner in late models. He's a late model champion. And in fact, just earlier this week, he was actually named the 2020 NASCAR Weekly Series champion because of how successful he was in late models this year. Berry's made a handful of sporadic Xfinity starts over the years between like 2014, 15, and 2016. He's made a few starts for Junior Motorsports, got a couple top 10s in there. But yesterday on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Dale Earnhardt Jr. surprised Josh Berry with a pretty great opportunity for next season. Here's a little bit of what that sounded like.
We're always trying to find opportunities to get Josh in an Xfinity car at Junior Motorsports, and we've had success with that, like you said, in the past, and Josh's done a good job. So Josh, I'm excited to tell you, buddy, that we're committing to put you in the number 8 Chevrolet for a dozen races in the first half of 2021, buddy. You worked hard for this opportunity.
That okay by you, Josh? Yeah, that's okay by you?
Yeah, that's okay with me. Yeah, I'm honestly speechless. Like I said, for a short track guy and doing what I do, it's just amazing when you see these opportunities come about.
So there you go. Josh Berry is going to race the first roughly 12 races of next year's NASCAR Xfinity schedule for JRM. Of course, then Sam Mayer, super talented teenager from Wisconsin, will take over that seat for basically the second half of the season. Basically just waiting for Sam Mayer to turn 18, I think, so he can run the big tracks. But this is extremely exciting for Josh Berry. It's great to see drivers who have success, who have tremendous success on the local level, get opportunities like this in the top levels of NASCAR. You could argue this should have happened a lot sooner. Josh Berry is 29 years old, so you could argue this is still long overdue, but better late than never, honestly. Now, I don't know a whole lot about Josh Berry, but from what I can gather, at least, he's not someone who has a ton of funding behind him, from family or a business that's always supported him or something. He's earned this ride with Junior Motorsports because of his success on the racetrack, which is the type of thing all NASCAR fans should be rooting for. They should be rooting for guys like this. Everyone wants drivers to earn these seats based on merit. You got to support the guys that actually do it that way, and this sounds like an example of that. Again, Josh Berry's 29 years old. I'm not sure if this is going to ever lead to anything bigger in NASCAR for him. This could be 12 races and then he's right back, dominating on the car's late model tour or something, But I really do like what Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been doing with that number 8 car in recent years, giving multiple drivers every season a few opportunities to show what they can do in good equipment. And Josh Berry next year, I think, is going to be a force to be reckoned with, especially at some of the short tracks. I mean, I don't know the Xfinity schedule specifically. I don't know how many short tracks he's going to have on there. I mean, obviously, I guess he's going to race like Daytona. That'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what Josh Berry can do. But if he does win a couple races or make some serious noise in those starts, I might catch the attention of some teams. Even though he's 29 years old, a little old to be considered a NASCAR prospect, some of these teams would certainly consider him. I no doubt in my mind. But there you go. That's just some fun, heartwarming, exciting news. Good to see a good driver get a cool opportunity from Dale Earnhardt Jr. to race Xfinity next year in good equipment. Hopefully he makes the most of it. Just wanted to end the episode on that. But that's all I've got. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel. We talk NASCAR almost every single day. You may not hear from me as much over the next day or two because I'll be at the racetrack filming and everything, but early next week we'll be busy. So I hope you're all looking forward to that. A big thank you to my fantastic Patreon supporters. It's thanks to these great people that I'm able to get out to the racetrack racetrack, even this year when they're not allowing that many fans. You know, I've been trying to get to as many races as possible to film videos and show you guys what it's like. Couldn't do that without your support, so thank you all a ton. Not entirely sure my next video will be up. It'll also depend on when I get home from Texas Sunday night, but I'm not sure if my race review episode will be up Sunday night or early Monday morning, so I'll keep you guys posted on that. Thank you all for watching tonight. I will see you again very, very soon.